Yeah.
Yep. Not only that, the Viper is also countering the Bristleback and the Void too. Like if the Void ever jumps in, you drop the Nanotoxin down, he's not gonna be bashing at all. They got plenty of lane shoving now too. Unknown, I think that's something that they're lacking in this draft. The Bristleback, he's got a Quill Spray, a wave a couple times, Hoodwink as well. Like he's gonna have to push out lanes. Void doesn't push lanes that quickly. So that whole like killing the Luna thing, although it is a factor, if you can't get lanes out, you can't really get to the Luna, gank her, and kill her off early game. If she gets to that 6 slots or 5 slot point in the game within Aegis, now Unknown's team is getting countered really hard.
How do you deal with that then? What offlaner could fix that for Unknown and cover those weaknesses?
That's
Nature's
hard.
Prophet.
Nature's Prophet. I was thinking,
It's been a
like,
while
they need
since
like
we've
a.
seen that, right?
Yeah, it has been. I was thinking they need like a Shadow Demon or something. They need like a save, but also something that pressures the Luna. Like maybe you do the Topson Hoodwink mid and you go like SD Bristleback offlane or something. That could be interesting. It's really nice laning against Luna too because you can get her aura with your illusions. You can like turn their advantage against them. Just kind of nice. Also really good against Viper, Aghanims, but we probably won't be seeing an SD. It's just going to be an Apparition and Hoodwink supports.
Are we sure the Viper's going mid? Like,
No.
Is there a potential here that they switch things around in case that Bristleback does move to 3?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, is the Viper also as a potential 3 against the Void not really that bothered either? It's gonna bother him a fair amount. DOT, Time Walk doesn't really dispel that whatsoever. I mean, he's kind of a nuisance wherever he goes. You can't do the 5 thing that No Ping does though, unfortunately, because you already picked up the Undying. Unless they want to do an infamous thing where they use the Undying 3, but Hokori hasn't
Oh
done it.
no. Please no. I don't want to ever see an Undying 3.
You're not a fan of the Papita pick? He was very proud of that pick. He even spoke about it in an interview. He was like, I thought that was a great idea. I was so proud of my Undying 3.
Yeah, Papita is like a very unique kind of guy because like he's like a captain, so he can see the vision of the game much better, and he can like command according to like his niche pick, which is nice. But if you just put like a random offlaner on an Undying 3, it's gonna be an absolute disaster. And they go with the Ember pick, so it's gonna be an offlane Viper against the Void. And like you said, like Viper against Void is gonna be great for the Viper. He's gonna farm. He's gonna do well. Ancient Apparition not gonna put any pressure either on him. And Unknown now they have to decide like are they gonna pick a mid laner or an off laner? Most likely it should be off lane because Bristleback is actually really good against Ember. It's all physical damage. Goo destroys Ember. Even though he's an agility hero, it doesn't have that much armor.
And they don't have any real catch for Ember, do they? They have Chrono, and that's pretty much it. Like, who do you pick that? You're not going to pick a Lion or a Shadow Shaman or something here.
You're so limited because you're also against Undying. So whatever strength, if you pick like a stunner, most of them are all strength heroes. Yeah, and all of a sudden this Undying is going to counter you with the Luna buffing them up too. I think Unknown are in a huge pickle this game.
You're right. What is even an option here?
Because usually your last pick is meant to be the one that rounds out your draft and is like the gotcha hero.
Yikes. That's also a Sank against Nyx Assassin. You get a Sandstorm, you're gonna get Spike Carapace, dusted, stunned up, and then they're just gonna get blown up. Oh man, this is so rough. Unknown have to like destroy lanes in this game, I think, which is gonna be very hard to do against a Viper lane. And then on the other side, you got Luna Undying.
So I take it neither of you are siding with the Unknown draft right now.
Well, who's gonna win this game is definitely not Unknown.
Yeah, I mean, I was leaning Hokori going into this. I think the draft, it just doesn't change anything at all. Lumiere, comfort pick on the Luna. I'm looking at this and wondering, like, how do you invade and stop Luna from killing ancients and just accelerating super fast? Because you don't have a hero that matches that speed, apart from maybe Bristleback in the early stages of the game. And it's all reliant on your ultis. Like, if Chrono's down, you can't do anything. You need Sanking and AA to literally just be running around the map, killing hero after hero. And if that doesn't work, then I think it just falls flat.
I would agree with you that Bristleback it would have been the big boss on this map had there not been a Viper in this draft.
True.
Had there not been a break on the side of Hokori. Like they picked this Hoodwink to cover the Bristleback, right? So they won't pick a Hoodwink to counter the Bristol with the break. But then they just let a Viper through, which is a far worse counter with a very low cooldown.
So it seems
at least they've got Sanking to catch Ember now.
What can you do as Unknown though to make this a bit easier for you as we get into the game? What would be your strategy?
Don't feed.
No, but like, is it? Do you want to put the early pressure? You want to make your lanes incredibly strong, play super defensive in the void? What's the ideas here?
You're gonna want to try and win 2 lanes somehow. Just try to
Okay.
get some kills on the Viper, keep him down, and just keep running at him and make him a non-factor in this game, and then just allow the Void to get space, free farm, and then try to win some 1 or 2 team fights, get Roshan, and take over the game from there. Which I think is definitely possible for Unknown. They're a great team. They can make the good plays on the map, but they're just having an uphill battle right now.
Hey guys, well, we'll have to see as the game is already underway. I'm going to be leaving these 2 wonderful casters to cast this fantastic game. Let's see if Unknown can make this pickle of a draft, or if Hokori will prove Gareth right here and take the first game. We'll see as we go into game number 1 between Unknown and Hokori.
And straight into a
Wow,
pause.
a pause! What a surprise, Gary! Are you surprised as I am?
Oh, I was so tempted. I mean, is Arvo still here? You can chill and chat with us for a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
never-
what did
never
you
wanna-
tell us about Pakaz's name? You were telling us earlier, and I felt that was very interesting. I didn't know about it.
Oh yeah. So Pakaz, as most of Infamous, changed their names for a while, you know, and Pakaz's name currently is Angel. That is the name that shows in-game because he wants to honor his dad. I believe because his dad might be sick. That's what I've heard, but that's more of a rumor. But I know it is definitely to honor his dad, and he said it a while ago. And it's quite a common name. It means angel, much like in English, but in Spain, I know like a lot of Angeles. So yeah, he's just missing the accent for some reason. His real name is still Pakaz. And I have no clue why his name is Pakaz. That looks like a random collection of letters to me. That's not Spanish whatsoever, so I can't tell you.
Speaking of random collections of letters, we've got Prada called Shukad. SHCCD. Do you have any information on that? Because we were wondering all the season 2 how to pronounce it.
We call him Shoulder.
I think his name is supposed to be Sexid. I think that's it. I think that's how you were supposed to pronounce it. I heard it once from a caster a while ago, but even
Sexy.
Spanish casters get like surprised by that. We just call it Prada. Like, thank God he changed his name to Prada. Oh my goodness. You see that? It's a murder. For any newbie caster in Spain, you always ask him to present the players and go like, take Prada's name, and they just look at it for like a solid minute. What do I say here?
Just say the hero name.
Just say the hero name, exactly. Yeah.
He's the purple
That's the
player.
trick.
Dear
Looks
me.
like we're underway here, Gary. At
Yeah,
last.
so
Oh, that is the favorite line, by the way,
which one?
of South American players. That elephant line. That's my cue. Bye bye. Yes.
Thank you.
the
Oh no, we've
elephant
got another
line.
pause.
No. All right.
Every time Arvo says bye bye, we get another pause. That's the game we're playing.
Scripted,
so
as usual.
I'll just stay. I'll just stay. It's fine.
That's fine. Theban, you were saying about winning, like 2 lanes here for Unknown, and I was kind of wondering with a Luna or a Terrorblade or a Spectre or whatever, we see that safe lane hero kind of get sacked a little bit early game. You try and win mid, win your off lane, get the tempo going. Faceless Void always feels like a bit different. He doesn't want to jungle. He doesn't want to leave his lane. He wants extended laning stage, right? So how do you try and make sure you win 2 lanes with a Void on your team? Do you focus on him?
I think that's the problem, right? And how you said you want this hero to be able to go into jungle if the lane gets too hard for him, and the lane will get hard for him against the Viper. So now, like, to win your 2 lanes, Unknown are gonna have to focus on the top and the mid lane. So they're gonna need, this apparition to just get some levels, try to go to the Sanking's lane, maybe get a kill or 2 on the Undying and the Luna, and then just let the Void do what he can down there. It's just a concern that the Void doesn't farm jungle very fast.
Yeah. It's a big
That's
problem.
why we don't see it being picked.
El Misho doing classic Nyx Assassin things. One of his signature heroes, it felt like. All of these heroes for Hokori. Lumiere Luna. You got that Vitali Viper, Gardic Undying, El Misho Nyx. All signature heroes that they've played numerous times throughout season 2 for sure. Ember Spirit, maybe a bit of a different one. We saw a lot of analog puck and DK, so it looks like he's expanding his horizons a little bit. Immediate D-ward for Gardic as well in that mid lane. Going to give analog an even better time. As bottom bounty rune contested by Unknown. El Misho with a stun and the grab on the rune. Is that a 3? Yeah, 3 for 1. Angel. Well, Pakaz is going to take that 4th one.
He just went in there against 3 heroes and took the rune. They have no stuns on the side of Unknown. And that's another big concern, right? You got Sanking Burrow Strike, Disable on their team. Bushwhack is not always reliable. So, quite tough. They're off to a good start on Hokori with the 3 bounties.
Yeah, they are. And also the fact that this Hoodwink has a long walk all the way back up to top lane. Lumia and Gardet can have pretty perfect time here to plant their sentry and push damage onto Sacred from a very early point. Get him out of the sandstorm. He might even... Yeah, okay, that bushwhack, well timed. They might even have been looking for a kill there on Sacred with this decay and Lucent Beam. So much damage comes very quickly.
Yeah, this lane, I think Gardic is going to have a pretty good time. All he has to do is just keep on decaying the Sanking, remove his damage. Look at Sanking. Look how much damage he has. 44 plus 2 now. He can't even last it with this. It's so difficult. Yeah. And you're just getting decayed nonstop. It's going to be very sad. I want to see Gardic... Yeah, I want to see Gardic move up more up front and just take creeps away. He's got, what, 71 damage on his Undying. So good at denying with that.
He's going to have that stick as well to keep him sustained. Is that another 2-man decay? Gets the 2 of them in it. Great start there for Hokori in their safe lane. As it looks like in towards mid, RoboZ and Analog, melee versus melee Theban. But Bristleback coming out heavily on top, 10-4 against the 6-0. Is this what you expect with a Quill Spray?
Yeah, definitely. I said during the draft that very favorable matchup for the Bristleback. Analog, you know, his Flame Guard isn't going to do too much against the Bristleback, and he can't really stop the Quill Sprays from doing a lot of damage to him. Just 3 armor on this agility hero. Not a lot. And he has to always constantly run in. Once the Bristle's level 6, that's when it gets super hard for the Ember. Ooh.
There we go, Packard. He gets the kill on Viper. The mana burn. Oh, he's healed up. A stick in the Fairy Fire. Now a salve from Prada. Doesn't drop. And that's what you needed from Unknown. A kill on the Viper from the Void.
That is so good. And he gets the first blood. That's going to give him a little bit of a boost. He needed that badly. And that was a kill without time dilation too.
Is Analog dead? I think Analog's dead here. Yep. He's just being slain by the Quill Spray and that 1 point in goo. Diving tower, bottle up. 2 core kills out of that mid lane and bot lane. You wanted Unknown to get that early start and win some of these lanes. They're doing it tremendously.
He's also 18-5 and just denied an entire creep wave of Embers there. Yeah, I think if there's only one qualm in like Hokori's lineup, it was his last pick, Ember Spirit, after you see the Bristleback. It's just so tough matchup for Analog. He's going to have impact later on, but the lane is just incredibly difficult.
Do you want to see him starting to like cut waves?
So. I don't know. He might have to at this rate.
Because we saw that when, was it like the Necro period, where we saw Necro against Ember Spirit. Just like unlaneable completely, like people going behind tier 2s to try and farm waves.
Yeah, maybe just farm the small camp and just wait for the Bristleback to push the lane in. Probably the best choice here. Tally bottom out of mana, does have a Mango. Lots of pressure onto these 2 heroes.
Yeah, with that Observer Ward, El Misho, he sees Prada. And
That's a big kill.
Stun into mana burn. Kills off the AA.
Yeah, that was very nice because he does a healing salve and he was about to get back to full resources.
Well, that leaves Angel all alone down here, but he does play aggressively as Lumiere drops to Sacred and Widge up top. Even with a Soul Rip, not enough heal or sustain from Gardic to save the Luna. Going for that 1-1-1 build.
Lanes that Unknown have gotten kills on now. So said how they need to do well in the laning stage, get their lineup going, and they're doing just that.
Yeah, Vitalik keeps running very low on resources on this Viper. He's got himself a Wraith Band, a Quelling Blade, quite an interesting build up there. Not too much mana to play around with. And it doesn't seem like Angel cares too much about these poison attacks being put on him. He's still got tangos, has double salve on his AA to be handed over to him. Do you feel like it's a mistake to be focusing the Void and not hitting the AA here?
Nah, you want to keep pressuring up the Void. Look at his last hits. Only 15. 5 minutes into the game because he has a lot of pressure on him. If you go onto the apparition, like he's happy to just tank all that mana, the damage, even die once if need be, if the Void can get free farm off of it. And they also got a kill on the apparition anyway, right? Earlier, because he was too low.
Dire's structures
So they're doing good so far, apart from that one Viper death.
Yeah, they do force Angel away from the creep wave. Nearly loses his courier in the process. And so it looks like Widge going to try and deny his Observer Ward deep in that dire jungle top. Oh, he takes it down to half
check
HP,
out
but doesn't.
Mid lane here. It looks like RoboZ was able to do a lot of tower damage with the catapult there. And it's level 7 now. Analog just got 6. Look at that damage. My god.
Jeez. Yeah, he has to remnant away. Rune spawns top. Unfortunate for Analog. There's no bottle refill there from the action rune. Has the bounty rune to fall back on as we lose Prada's AA bottom lane. Yet again, Vitaly and Elmisho playing forward past the creep wave to find that aggression. Top lane, Lumiere under the sandstorm, turns onto Sacred, pops the stick, but Lumiere dropping very quickly. Sacred finds the pop out the caustic finale. There is a tombstone down here as Widge runs it back from the zombies.
That's get the Void bottom. He was trying to run away, but his time walk was still on cooldown. They were able to dive him with the poison attack, and the Nyx just chasing. Oh, they don't see Elmisho.
Oh, they find him now. Hello, buddy.
Just a little bit of XP for the apparition. If he can get level 6 at a decent time without having to eat the tome, that'll be real nice. But the problem right now for Void, look at the lane where it is. It's so shoved. And Vitaly is happy to just deny, and last it creeps under his tower.
Yeah, thanks to that Quelling Blade. Super
Level 6 Viper now too. Angel's only about to hit 5 right now.
And it still feels, even with that good laning start, right? Killing off core heroes, finding some picks, lanes felt pretty good. You have that feeling in the back of your head, like, hey, we need to do more. We need this Sand King to get his early Blink Dagger. We need Ancient Apparition, like you mentioned, to hit level 6, so we have that kill threat across the map. Play into the Void's Chronos early on. But in the dire jungle, stacks are being taken and stolen. Analog trying to defend them against RoboZ. Lumiere's here as well. But RoboZ's so strong just with a hood. Level 8, Bristleback, whacking into Tombstone. Burst Strike there onto Analog, but he's going to Remnant off to the side. He's thinking about it. Doesn't need to in the end. This is all under Radiant Vision. Double Sentry misses that Observer Ward Widge placed earlier on.
Gotta feel so bad. Bristleback just comes in, who's already so farmed, takes your stacks, and kills your Tombstone, and you can't do anything. Like, this Ember Spirit must feel so lost at this stage in the game, Gary. Like, what is he supposed to do? Okay, he gets an Arcane Rune. That's nice. But still. What is he supposed to do?
Oh, I have no idea. Go just farm jungle.
Yeah, he's getting just the Bristleback factor. Like, if he goes into a fight, the Bristol just goos him and right-clicks him 2 times. This is like half his health. Top lane, though, this is a play that he can make here with the Arcanes.
Yeah, coming onto Widge. Good stun from Elmisho. Analog doesn't have chains, and a little tree placed down by Widge as he scurries through the tree line, but Gareth is there. AoE decay, and the immediate zip back into mid from Analog.
Yeah, I think you're right. The best thing for Analog to do is just go behind the tier 1 tower and just keep cutting the wave there. And maybe even drag it to the big camp and just farm like that. Or even the small camp like he is doing right now.
Like he's doing now, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good shout. He's even going to try and scout out this Radiant Triangle, see if there's any stacks going. Bounty Rune's already taken by Sacred. Under the Sandstorm we go. Elmisho has level 2 Carapace. No reveal, though. So a difficult kill to get unless they push Sacred out of his Sandstorm early. Oh, he comes out now. Set it up for the stun. Raindrops there, 11-1 charges. It's still really
Flame
tough
Guard yet.
to kill
Yeah,
Sacred.
the Flame Guard just ran out. So they have to wait for the next one, and it's just too long. He gave so much time for Unknown to be able to just, you know, bring heroes there. Bottom,
We could lose
Chrono.
Vitaly. Bottom lane, yeah. Well, there's another Toxin out. Time Dilation and Time Walk used, but Vitaly, Cold Feet snaps, and a rotation from Analog should be able to gather up Parada's life here as the Ancient Apparition gets defrosted.
Yeah, Analog just so quick on that TP, and Angel realizing with the Nether Toxin on the floor, he can't actually kill the Viper even if he does use the Chrono, because he can't time lock.
He can't do anything. We don't have that AA6 yet either. He's got the tome, so he should hit it when he respawns. I wonder if Angel wants to try and make something happen there, because they've got a really good lane ward that spots Analog moving back to his tower right now. And they'll know if any rotations do come. And just a quick salve on the Void. And you see the Viper return to bottom lane to refill that bottle. And this is now the real period, though, where Lumiere says, screw the lanes, screw the rest of the map, I am Triangle Farmer. Luna looking to try and catch up to the Bristles. Bristles level of farm.
Do you remember in Season 2, Gary, when we were watching these teams play, and we're like, Luna, no, why they keep picking it? But there was one guy who actually won with it consistently, or did well with it. It was Lumiere, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember there was a very specific game. I can't remember who they were against, but it was literally 20 kills to 3 kills or something. Like, this game is super over. 20 minutes in, nothing's happening, and then Lumiere comes out of the jungle and just wins the game. Yeah, sniped down by the Nyx. Good Ice Blast though. Allows RoboZ to take out Gardic. Bottom lane's being pressured pretty hard though, and El Misho without Vendetta. No backup from the rest of his squad. Trying to run away from this Bristleback, but look who comes over the ramp now. Sacred and Witch. Even blinking even deeper aggressively with a jump on Lumiere. A triple for the Bristol. Beautifully set up.
So fast there by Sacred, just running into the jungle, blinking past. Seeing that the Luna was just farming there. And Angel, he's already made his way top lane. He's taking the tower now. That's his area of the map. And RoboZ, he is kicking ass right now. He's 900 gold away from Aghanims?
Wow. Just hood into Ags. Forget Vanguard.
So
what
rich.
An absolute beast.
4-0.
It's like 2,000 gold ahead of the Luna, who's meant to be the fastest farmer in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Vitaly, like, he's a counter to the Bristleback, but if he's not fighting into the Bristol, is he really a counter then?
Not really.
That's what's going on
Is
now.
Is this where Vitaly just chases Bristol around wherever he sees him, he follows?
He's got to stop this Bristleback, but it's feeling a little too late now, because he's already sitting at like 1,500 gold, almost got that Aghanims. Once you get Ag, Viper is no longer, this tanky guy anymore. You're just gonna get constantly slow, lose all your armor, get like 3-shotted or something.
RoboZ.
They gotta make this happen.
Oh, the quill sprays, the carapace and the stun into the break. We go. Nether Thompson there, but they need more catch. They need more disables. RoboZ still being pummeled though by the poison attacks of Vitaly. Gardic even came in with a tombstone as deep in behind enemy lines. The Ice Blast catch. Sacred pairs up with Pakas. Takes down the Lumiere Luna to make sure that she's not accelerating while this action's being created. Oh, Hokori. They want to get something off the back of it. I think Prada's probably dead to rights. Yeah, caught without any chance of escape. No amount of recourse here will get the ancient apparition away from Analog. Yeah, pop your wand. Go on then.
You have been schooled.
A nice kill onto the Luna there, trading for the Bristleback. They also farmed, I think, a little bit of that Ancients as well on the side of Hokori. Analog now level 10. He just needs to keep getting levels, right? This hero will become better as the game progresses. And these kills that they're getting are going to be nice. They're going to need to continue doing that. Smoke up, find the Bristleback again, keep killing them before he gets to like the BKB after the Zags.
Just try and find kills where you can.
There it is.
And again, every time he calls sprays into a lane, there's a chance of a carapace and a break. So 2 deaths on RoboZ, very quickly one after the other.
Yep. He could have had Ags by now, but those 2 deaths definitely going to slow him down. It's going to slow down Unknown altogether. They were having a lot of tempo, but now that Vitaly has moved out of the bottom lane, has decided to hunt the Bristleback, they're getting things done.
And I need to make that barrier in front of the Luna as well, equally. A 0-4-1 Luna right now, not feeling particularly happy. Yasha,
look at the network though.
Dragonlance. Yeah.
She's still ahead of the 2-1 Void, even though she's got 4 deaths.
That's the trouble with the Void. Like you're saying, you can't really flash farm in jungle. He bought this Maelstrom to try and keep himself up there.
Looks like Unknown, they want to make their own plays right now. Bristleback still 100 gold off this Aghanims. It feels like he had it 2 minutes ago. Just being dragged out. the worst feeling in the game when like you're telling your team, guys, we're gonna fight off this, and then it's like 2 minutes later you still don't have it.
Yeah, that momentum getting broken very quickly. And it doesn't look like the smoke's going to find anything. Does get a good ward down. But
Oh, look at the
Hokori have
smoke
such
from
a good
Hokori,
read
too.
on this. Like,
They
they've already
wanted to
signaled
smoke
out.
and kill the Bristol. They thought he was going to go to the Ancients, but he went to the right side instead. But if he goes for this next wave, Robo Z, oh, gets bailed out. That was so close, Gary. He was
He'll hide
definitely
in the
running
trees.
towards that wave.
He's got his axe now. Sand King blinks away from El Misho's Nyx assassin, who spots Widge wandering through the forest. What's Prada up to? Prada's trying to ward and de-ward around that dire triangle
Dire's
spot.
bottom tower is under attack.
Every team is basically avoiding their own triangles because they're all running
know
at
there's
each
vision
other into
there.
the same spot. There's vision there.
Like round two.
Good chains.
Dire's bottom
Bakaz. Oh, Chrono. Catches Vitali. The Viper's caught up. A good epicenter burrow strike back in with a nice blast as well. Secure the
High ground
Viper, but a
tombstone
high ground
then.
tombstone. Gardic has it lined up for a fight to progress, but there's no Luna. This is a 5v4. The Unknown will take 2 kills. Can't catch Analog as he just TP's home. El Misho, though, might still be in danger. Nyx Assassin, bushwhack, chain stunned. And that's the death of El Misho.
Radiant's top
Yeah,
tower is
like you
under
said, that was a
attack.
5 versus 4 there. The Tombstone was really nice, but the source of damage was missing once the Viper died. And they just couldn't stick around anymore. They did drop the Chrono there. They're just going to be happy with farming on the map right now.
We do still have that
So
Luna.
many pings
Building up
everywhere.
pretty
Are you,
quickly.
are you hearing that?
Yeah, they're pinging to go on Luna. Catch her with a Burrow Ice Blast. Vitali trying to defend Lumiere. Throws out the Viper Strike and Sacred dropping low, but in
Vitali's in
comes
trouble.
Robo Z, slapping onto Vitali. They kill Sacred in a fountain, but Analog, he's jumped to the back lines. Prada gone, and now potential for Hokori to mount a defense of their triangle. The trouble is,
Come on,
Bristleback is way too tanky, so they've changed focus, changed tact, get onto Widge instead.
Good targeting there from Hokori, going for the support instead. I mean, if Viper is not alive, then you're not touching this Bristleback. Just let him be. Yeah. He's going for a BKB as well on the Viper. He does not want to get food. That spell is so annoying.
Illusion.
We saw what it can do in a team fight if the Bristol is just freely able to run in there. I'm surprised it's not going for a BKB here, Gary.
On the Bristle,
On the
yeah.
Bristleback. Yeah, I mean, you gotta counter your counter. The
What's he
BKB
gonna
is
go-
how you stop yourself from the Netotoxin.
Or does he go casual Sanjin? I guess he buys the Ogre Axe and then thinks about it, right? Or do you reckon he's queued up Sandra because he's definitely buying it?
I'll take your tribute.
It's probably one of his core items whenever he plays this hero. Maybe he's just not thinking about the BKB right now, but it's going to be important because the Luna's going to hit her timings if you go for this Sanj into a BKB build, and you might just get run over on Unknown. Your lead is not substantial. You're just hanging in there.
Especially when you have the synchronization with the Void. Like, Pakaz is going for a BKB of his own, and you could probably hit both at the same time. And suddenly you've got 2 BKB cores that are just pushing so much damage towards this Hokori side. We'll see if he changes his mind. Or if he does commit to that sand. Right now, a bit of lane pushing. Ember Spirit bottom, Sand King top, doing very similar jobs, just trying to drag their opponents from one side of the map to the other. Defend their tier 2s. But I feel like this map state favors Hokori. Like, Luna is being... Like, you look at where the dire heroes are, right? Luna is in the pocket. She's protected
Yup.
by 4 heroes in front of her. And that's
shield.
what you want.
Shield in front of her, essentially. Every hero on Hokori is just playing right in front of the Luna. And they have to get through those guys to get to Lumiere. Like, and she's gonna have a BKB suit on the Luna.
Skyrocketing straight to the moon.
And this next Roshan, like, that's gonna be the play. One thing I am kind of surprised by is Unknown not doing Rosh. They have incredible Rosh damage with the goo. And I feel like they should have forced it. Get Hokori out of this area of the map where they're protecting the Luna. And try to get
Especially
them
when
to
it-
fight you.
When it feels like you have superior team fight as well with Sand King, AA, Faceless Void. Try and force the fight, surely. It's something in your favor, as they do catch the Nyx. Very good burst damage. RoboZ a little bit stuck in the goo there, but yeah, drops the GG tree and he's fine.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Essence Ring on Bristleback makes him incredibly tanky. 3,000 HP almost with that Essence Ring.
Lumia gonna TP to tier 2 middle as he realizes they were all bottom side. Gonna finish his BKB there. Analog, no mana. They're chasing him. He's gonna get gooed up. He's pretty dead.
Killed his courier. He's got 5 1 charges in 5 seconds, but he's already dead. Can't even wait for it to come off cooldown. The rest of the team was kind of wandering over towards that point, but yeah, caught under vision, spotted out, and picked it off.
Kali's next.
Oh, he's completely stuck out there in no man's land. Defending the Luna's one thing, but bleeding away 2 core kills here to Team Unknown. Especially when they aren't forced to use any ultimates, they're just jumping and stunning. It's a chain feed out from Hokori. 3 in a row.
Yep.
No chrono
That
use.
is so sloppy, Gary. That is absolutely so sloppy. Starting with the Ember with no mana and like underestimating Unknown that they're not gonna run in and find this Viper who's such a slug in the mid lane. This is gonna open up Roshan.
Who do you give it to? You put up Bristle feels unkillable. Give it to your Void?
I guess you can give it to a Bristle too, but if the Void has it, you can just go in like a maniac alongside the Bristleback instead of just a Bristle running in.
And I think he is going to go BKB on Bristle. Yeah. He's got 2,000 gold saved up, so that switch is happening, right?
That's good. That's very, very good decision on RoboZ, because now they're going to have this timing. Okay, so they do put the Aegis onto the Bristleback. Angel also going to have his BKB now. That's completed. They're hitting some monstrous timings on Unknown at the moment. Smoke coming out. Before Angel gets his BKB, that will be huge kill. Oh, okay.
Nice! El Misho, gorgeous stuff. But look at this, the Chrono's out, still losing the Void, but a nice blast into the bubble. 3-man hit. Analog looking to the retreat. Lumier's there with elusive beams out of the Eclipse. RoboZ, he's dropping low, but he's got the Aegis still, so Essence Ring and run forward. Onto Gareth's Undying. About to fall, Vitaly's still breaking the Bristleback and gets the first life. Unfortunately for Viper, though, he's stuck here, and it's just a couple of taps out from RoboZ to finish him off. 2 for 3 trade.
Angel has no way out.
Yeah, they're gonna catch Analog here. He's got no remnants left. He's screwed.
The Ember had no way out. He had no TP up, and his remnants were out. So they do get the Bristleback, Aegis, and the Void kill. I would say overall it was a little bit in favor of Unknown, right? But only a little bit because the Void died.
Mm-hmm. And that Aegis is meant to get you, what, all of the tier 2s, basically? Get the outpost. Now they don't have it.
BKB
well, that's
now,
what can happen when...
coming out. It is.
That's true, yeah. Well, that's what can happen when Hokori has the first move. But if Unknown are making the aggressive maneuver, then it becomes way, way more difficult for them to react, especially with the double BKBs. Is Lumia ready? That's always going to be the question. Manta, BKB.
He's pretty ready. He's always looking to fight now at this point, I would say. With the Manta and the BKB up.
They want to fight this.
Lumiere.
Look at the Sand King. Epi Burrow strengthens Lumiere. The Soul Rip into the BKB. Lumiere stands his ground, but the Ice Blast forward and the physical damage coming in from RoboZ is doing a lot, but Sacred dies. They don't finish off the Luna. They turn with another Toxin and Bristleback's dead under the Tombstone.
I guess that answers your question, doesn't it, Gary? It wasn't Luna ready to fight. He's ready. I mean, that Undying Tombstone was so nice, and the heal comes out right before the Ice Blast. So Luna was able to stand there and just hit into this Bristleback and the Sand King. Like, you can't be in that position with your faces void, being on the bottom side of the map without Chrono. Like, that is just such a cocky maneuver there from Unknown, thinking that they can apply pressure without having all their heroes nearby.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There was a funny little moment there with Pakans and El Misho. Sentry Ward spotted the Nyx. Invis Rune was there. Pakans did a little stutter step. El Misho grabs the Invis Rune and runs away, scattering out of there. Yeah, there's 3k lead though for Unknown, feeling it doesn't really do too much.
Yeah. And you saw there, like the Bristleback is nice and strong with the BKB against the Viper only when all 5 of unknown heroes are together in one place on the map. You can see that he can still die if he's all by himself. This Luna is getting real big. She does plenty of damage.
And also, like you were saying, you know, Analog had a pretty rough laning stage, as I expected, against the Bristleback, but you know, still 9,500 net worth, starting to scale, and pretty difficult to catch. El Misho plays forward. Everybody from Unknown around him, defending that bottom tier 2. But they're the ones converging to find these little scraps and kills, while the Luna, after that team... Okay, so the team fight top lane, she was, what, 1,000 gold ahead of the Bristle? Now
Yeah.
she's 3,000 ahead of the Bristle.
That's Luna for you. Luna, Dusa, these heroes, that's what they do.
man.
They win one team fight and they just skyrocket. And like you said about Analog, like he had a rough lane, but he's doing his job now, which is just hunt the supports, kill the apparition, kill the hoodwink, and is doing that very well.
Scanning.
And just pushing out that dead lane as well, forcing your opponents to keep coming back, milling around that bottom tier 2. And the waiting game begins at second Roshan. 3.5 minutes till fast spawn.
Angel?
Feels like Hokori would like to go and take that mid tier 1 tower, but it's pretty difficult.
Oh yeah, I mean they're content with the Luna just farming. They're just trying to find some kind of information on the map that they can fight off of. I do believe that Prada this game has done a good job of just getting sentries in places where Hokori could possibly have wards that could allow them to make moves with, and just look at the vision advantage. Like if we look at Radiant vision, they see a lot more than Dire does. Dire doesn't see anything on the Radiant side of the map this game.
I've got Gem on Widge as well. Also, Scythe of Ice is about 2,000 gold away on that Hoodwink. Something that we were asking in the draft, right? When that Ice Blast, Burrow Strike, Vitali caught out. Trying to get on top of her with the Hoodwink and the Bristleback, but the turnaround, Robo Z has a BKB and a Glimmer Cape. Essence Ring and Quill Spray spam, he's
So
fine.
nice.
Dire's bottom tower is
So the
under
Viper dies, they trade the BKBs there, he's gonna be up in 40 seconds. Can they get more done with this on Unknown? They're surrounding the tower, they want to get more kills if they can, but they're outnumbering them.
Look at that. Look at that. Sand King onto Gareth. Sentry dropped. Tombstone on the high ground as well, but Gareth, he's just been shredded. And minus armor. Pummels through him. That Solar Crest and the Goo stacking up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But yeah, something in the draft we were looking for, right? That last pick was coming and you were wondering, is it Shadow Demon? I was asking, can I pick a hero with a Hex?
Has fallen.
Looks like the Hoodwink is trying to remedy that issue of lockdown against Ember Spirit by just buying a Scythe of Ice.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah,
is
Solar
under
Crest and
attack.
Scythe of Ice, that's nice. Definitely need something like that. Flanking being the only lockdown is just not enough. Going for a Halberd now on the Bristleback too, that's gonna be good against the Luna. She does not have Sanj and Yasha.
Are scanning.
Misho dusted. They see the Nyx Assassin. Was that a preemptive dust? Like Prada just throws it out there just in case.
Because they don't have a sentry, so they're like, okay, well, if they're watching my Void with the Nyx right now, that could be real bad. So instead of a sentry, I'm just gonna click this dust, so Angel can just farm this and get out.
And then the snap smoke. Oh, they missed the bushwhack. Still landing sharpshooter. Viper getting chased out by
BKB.
Pakaz. BKB's up. High ground tombstone as well. Gardic trying to defend it. They do spot it up there on top of the cliff top, and they'll bring it down as the Undying falls as well. Viper caught up, but a 3-man stun from El Misho. Trouble being, there's no follow through. So every single one of these Hokori heroes will fall victim to the Robo Z Bristleback.
And he picked off Analog. He had no mana. He just wants to finish his Aghanim's right now. Luna, you know, she's like, okay, I can come fight, but do I really want to when my Undying's the one getting jumped? We're not even ready for this engagement. And El Misho, he went in after Vitalia was pretty much guaranteed dead. That's was that like the second or third time this game El Misho has done that?
Yeah.
Save a buddy syndrome.
Yeah, it is. And especially when this Bristleback is really hitting his peak. Gets up onto tier 3. Void holding Chrono, still has that ready.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They do
Luna
glyph
has
it up.
Scotty now.
Bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
hold on to that high ground, but yeah, you're right. A Scardy Luna now.
Roshan
into
is
that
up too,
Aghanim
so This is where Hokori want to fight here, Gary. Like this is when they want to smoke up, run into the top side of the map. You got the Scotty complete, Ember finish the Aghanims. You've hit your peak on Hokori's side. This is it. Everything is gonna come down to this Roshan and this next fight.
It all comes down to this. We saw it in the previous series, right? One team fight can suddenly just allow you to run towards barracks. Get a Roshan, get that second Roche with Aegis and Cheese. Unfortunately, though, Misho scouted.
They know.
He does have a Blink Dagger and a Carapace. Tries to get a bit of damage back onto Widge and Robo-Z. Good sharpshooter, though. Breaking and slaying. Robo-Z just 2-taps him down. God is slow from the Luna, but it's an illusion.
Oh, they missed the Chrono.
Because Chrono's the Illu. Lumiere BKBs. Turns with the nice bit of damage there and slowing down with that Skadi. Robo-Z is going to try and TP. The BKB ends and he stuns. No. Can't catch him out.
He's just going to
Still
hit
low.
with this Gary. The Bristleback has no BKB. They're checking Rush right now on the Nyx. It's up.
They're
They
looking
know.
for what? A bonus kill. Anyone here? Try and catch someone before they move in.
Huge. Viper, Ember, they get the Lunar Blessing. They got so much more damage.
Do you reckon Unknown can go back in here? There's no Epi, there's no Chrono, but
No, they
Burrow
cannot.
Strike, Ice Blast.
They have no chance to win a team fight in this pit. In this situation. Aegis, Shard, onto the
Give it
Luna,
up.
Cheese for the Ember. Oh boy, Hokori just flipped this game around with that one play with their item timings.
It's not as though the net worth really changed, right? It's sat
No.
around 8-9k. I mean, maybe it's what, a 2,000 swing, but that doesn't tell the whole story. It's more like a 10k swing in terms of map control, in terms of how you want these drafts to progress.
Unknown have been playing the whole map for that one Roshan, and it's taken away from them. So they would literally have to wait for almost 11 minutes to be in that situation again and get the next Aegis and then control the map off of that. Plus, they would have loved to have had the free shard for one of their heroes. Lumiere right now, he is looking gigantic. 23k net worth. He's an entire big item ahead of Angel.
Look at how he's playing. He's just chasing Pakars away from any kind of creep wave. He's technically in like a 1v5 here. Everybody from Unknown is nearby. The backstab attempt from El Misho did get scouted for a sec under a sentry. I think he's managed to weasel himself away from... Oh no, there's a gem on Widge. Of course there is. And there's the Blink Burrow. Secure the Nyx Assassin.
Just 11 deaths, man. This is the life of a Nyx assassin.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Eventually he becomes the
Alright,
5
two.
and Undying's going to become the 4. He's got Holy Locket, he's got Tombstone ready, but the chain stuns so quickly from Team Unknown.
El Misho, he's just doing a little too much. You just gotta play behind the Luna now. Let her push the lanes out. You got an Aegis. You got your items. Just go with her. Let her lead the way. Take you to victory. Instead, he was getting ahead of the Luna and gets caught out. This gem is like a huge nuisance because it's not only a gem, but it's an instant hex as well on top of it.
Yeah. It does feel like the classic, we'll feed our 2 supports so we can farm like 70% of the map anyway. And we forced you down to bottom tier 2. It's like the most useless part of the map for the Radiant, right? So like, okay, you kill 2 heroes, but what are you going to do off the back of it? Yeah, not really too much.
They're kind of okay with it because they're waiting for the Luna Aegis to run out. They don't really want to fight an Unknown. They're down to get pickoffs, but 5v5 team fights, that is not what they should be doing. But
Oh, we've seen this
Hokori with
story
the smoke
before.
play. Yep.
It's like
Every
3 in a
time
row now.
Hokori
They
smokes.
gather tier 3.
Dire
Uh-huh.
are
And
scared.
it's always good, right? Because that means they're all
Dire's
together
top
in
tower
one
is
area
under
and they're going to be
attack.
casting their spells together instead of getting picked off. Oh my goodness. Arcane
Yep.
Rune, Aghanims
Uh-huh.
Ember.
Here we go.
Jeez.
Holding
Look
a
at Unknown.
cheese as well.
They read this though.
Bristleback trying to front line against the Luna. He does get shoved out of his triangle for now.
Is under attack.
Finished off that halberd, but look at the jump in. That Aghanim's Ember Spirit, helped out by the Luna. Lumiere claims Prada. Burrow Strike only onto the Ember. Analog still holding cheese. Scythe device is there. He's hexed and killed. Great little move from the Hoodwink, but Luna's still going. They've got reveal on the Sand King. In comes Pakaz, but the chain stun. El Micho catches him out. Still with a BKB time walk. Rewind back in for the 3-man chrono. They need the damage though, but these bounces the glaives. Luna slays the bristleback. That's good. Good epicenter. Sacred is decent, but where's the rest of your team? You've got another hex and a time dilation, but Luna is holding Aegis, has a hurricane point to push herself away. She's gonna stand there and hit tower.
My God, I thought that Void was surely dead there, but he just managed to get that time walk off. The statuses with Sanj and Yasha so good.
They even glyph it.
Oh, so close.
Radiant just glyphed.
Well, you know what? With that chrono being on cooldown, Gary, like you said, with that glyph being down too, Hokori, they might just go bottom straight into the high ground. I don't think they're really afraid of anything at this point. 90 more seconds left on that chrono to be up.
And then we start wondering about buybacks as well, right? Like Void, Bristle, they've got buybacks, Hoodwink, sure. So I guess Unknown with that defender's advantage do have the opportunity, but El Micho finding Sacred, preemptive dust as well. Lumiere's going to manta her out to get away from Hoodwink. Or a strike land from Vitali. He doesn't have Aeon Disc, but he's going to try with a BKB and a Viper Strike with Ember Spirit arriving. They do bring down the Viper, but Ember Spirit goes straight to the support. Finds the AA, Widge nearly dead as well. Faceless Void on the run. Kills off a zombie. Time walk off to the right-hand side, but can he TP? Oh, he's got another time walk. Jumps northwards. I think he's all right now.
Right? That is so hard to try and get a kill on. Yeah, they're just going to back off. Push the lanes out. Another win again for Hokori. They lose the Viper in the Nyx, but that's okay. They got more kills, and Lumiere is just getting stronger. This time around, Analog did not die. I'm going to need him to scale on the Ember. They need that secondary core, because the Luna is pretty much 6-slotted at this point. We're hitting the late game now.
What does Lumiere do?
Yeah, he's buying an
blessings coming.
He's got that 25 talent, the Eclipse, Loosen, mini stun. But if the Nyx Assassin ever finds the Sand King on a Spy Carapace into an Impale, you just drop the Eclipse on top of him. That Sand King is just gonna get blown up. Or you can just kill the Apparition and the Hoodwink with the Ember Spirit zipping into the backline with the Fire Remnant. A lot of things that Hokori can do now with that Axe.
Can defend the tombstone.
Yeah, he actually just ate the Axe, by the way. Like,
yeah, he straight up bought the blessing. Well, look at this Ember. Yeah. He knows there's people behind. There's a Bushwhack and a Cold Feet, but Analog, he should still be all right to maneuver himself away from this. Oh, he doesn't spend a remnant. Decides instead to stand his ground as the Bristleback TPs back to Fountain.
That's a bit awkward. Eclipse is now on cooldown. Remember, he spent, what, 6,000 gold into eating that. So you want your Eclipse to accomplish something. Unknown. This might be a window for them to try and do something with that Chrono being up. You got all your spells. There isn't really any items you're waiting for right now. I guess Scotty on Void, that's a pretty big one. Just sitting there with 4,500 gold in the bank. So you're gonna have to wait for that.
What is the thought process in doing this then on the Luna? Instead of going like a Satanic or a Butterfly or some kind of, MKB, late game physical damage items, going Aghanim's Blessing into Refresher Orb.
Right, I think it's just to try and get the supports killed off. He probably feels like he's got sufficient damage with everything else that he's got right now. It doesn't need a Satanic, especially against Apparition. Might feel a little bit bad. Plus the Mask of Mass is providing a lot of DPS right now. Just the active on it.
That early game item, such a cheap item, less than 2,000 gold, gives you so much on heroes like Luna.
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking about is if the next Roshan has an Ags on it, Luna's gonna feel a bit sad if they get it. But at the same time, this Ags blessing that he has might help him get the next Roshan, right? Especially if they stand on this hill here, Ember can just go into the back line with the Eclipse, try to kill the 2 supports and take the fights like that.
I guess we could always give that Axe to the Nyx Assassin as well. Something we've seen utilized really well at the major. And it looks like Unknown want to try and defend this bottom tower, but their smoke is broken on the Nyx Assassin. Scan goes deep as well. They know there's people behind El Micho, but our high ground tombstone, and again these stuns landing onto Robo Z. He needs the Force Staff and the BKB. trading his Black King bar for the Viper's one in that regard. A tier 2 tower still down, and the threat of Hokori coming high ground is still there. Prada getting jump stunned by the next assassin, and look at the remnants flying forward so quickly. Analog bushwhacked, but they've got this Netatoxin down on the ground. They kill off Prada. AA's down. They've got a Scythe of Ice on Ember Spirit, but he doesn't care. He's just remnanting around. He's got the ability to disengage. Faceless Void. Oh my god, he's nearly dead, but the Time Walk rewind, time dilation as well. Angel, Parkaz has moved back in. El Misho doesn't have a blink, but they've got remnants, they've got slight chains. Stun from El Misho, catching out Parkaz, the Faceless Void, he's done for. Epicenter, Sandstorm, sure, you'll catch out Lumiere. Great in from Sacred, but Analog picks up the double. Ember Spirit's that additional core hero, and Hoodwink is the only one left standing on Unknown.
Oh man, I know you were looking at the other fight, but on the bottom side, Angel went straight for Lumiere, and Lumiere popped the Manta and sent an illusion away. And that got Angel baited, Gary. Like, he hit that illusion for a solid 3 or 4 hits, and that was the difference between the Luna dying off the chrono and that fight happening. What you just saw.
Is that the second time? Third time that Lumiere's used that illusion to bait Parkaz, right? It's going to be getting under his skin. It's going to be really, really detrimental to his mental state as that Faceless Void right now, just knowing you've been toyed with.
Yeah, I mean, you lost your Luna, but there was a lot of spells casted on that, and plus the person who benefited from that fight was actually Angel, your secondary core on Hokori's side, who you need to have items now going into this late game, because the Luna's already 6 already. She's fine. So Analog getting all this from all this XP is now level 25. He can take the Remnant charge, restore time if he wants to. Gets a Kaya and Sanj now too, so he's got status assist for himself, more spell amp with the spell prism.
Pretty perfect timing on the Roshan as well, by the way. Not just for the both teams
Yeah.
involved, but the viewers and us as well, right? Everyone's alive. Roshan's about to respawn. As it looks like Gardic got jumped in by the Sacred Sand King, but Analog and El Misho there to guard their buddy around is Roshan, but Sacred the BKB and a chrono. Blind Analog. Ember Spirit bashed into oblivion. Finally, Parkaz gets the work done. El Misho gets away from the Sand King with a Carapace and a Yules. He might be able to blink away. Jump off? No. Instant bash. Parkaz says absolutely not, and 3 massive kills come in for Unknown around that third Roshan. Vitali chased up to a high ground as well. Robo-Z there. He has Eon Disc and BKB, and Lumiere deciding to join the fray. Oh, look at that little flicker. Yeah, jumps himself back, but still doesn't feel like Unknown can really crack on with Roshan. Oh, they're going to try it. They're forced to buy back out of Ember Spirit. With the goo, they'll get it done. Angels in the pit, the double buyback from Hokori. Undying and Ember Spirit both wanting to defend the pit.
They got the Tombstone alive now, in 10 seconds. They should go inside and do that while the Chronosphere is on cooldown. Looks like Unknown, they want to smoke around, try to get a jump. They want to keep Undying before he can drop the tomb. That's the play here. They see it.
High ground vision. The jump on Undying. The dieback on Gardic. He can't drop the tomb. He's dead. But in comes the Lucent Beams. The stun gone to Robo-Z, but he flickers it off. BKB's come. The stun from El Misho catches the Sand King as Analog. He's scythed up. Hex little piggy. Run, run, run. El Misho and Lumiere still want to turn onto this. Sacred brought back. And we return to a 5v4. But now vision advantage for Hokori. That Observer Ward, which gave the opportunity for Unknown, is now gone.
And there's 40 seconds left on this chrono to be back up with the Undying dead for 60. So Hokori, if they wait that out, I think Unknown should be able to take this Roshan. Luna is very scared of this Chronosphere because they got that Ice Blast and the Void just hitting you with that Daedalus now. It's not going to be fun for him.
Look at how quickly Lumiere moves, right? TP's bot, pops Manta, doesn't even clear Ancients or a large camp. Straight back up towards the Roche pit. Because you know You need to do something about it. With 30 seconds left on your Undying, it's still a 5v4, and they get the side onto El Misho. Vitali on the low ground here as the nice Minotaur Horn, but Nyx Assassin still dies, has to buy back.
Oh, Corona Luna, Ice Blast.
And the Ice Blast on top as well. In come the bashes, and that's the kill they needed. No buyback on Lumiere, so Roshan firmly belongs to Unknown, and maybe even the game as a triple lands in. Faceless Void takes them all down, and Analog in the background tries to Remnant, Yules up, Cold Feet coming, but he's still just slain by Robo-Z. 2 minutes without your Ember Spirit, and Hokori on their last legs.
That's 3 Ags to the face of Void. He'll pick that up. He's gonna be happy. Gets the Aegis too. And Ember, dieback. Luna, 60 seconds. They're just looking for more kills right now on the map. No, Gary, this game, Hokori, that play with the Undying sitting next to the top Ancients as Unknown are starting to revive, dying, and making it a really awkward situation for Hokori before the next Roshan spawns has just completely ruined them.
Yeah, because you need that Tombstone, you need that Soul Rip. And right now, it's looking like tier 4s and another situation where the game just gets flipped back and forth so quickly from these team fights. Hokori will glyph up their tier 4 towers, but it doesn't seem like Robo-Z really has a care in the world. Deep Tombstone from Gareth, but here comes the jump. Undying dead yet again. 1 minute without him or your Tombstones. And a 5v1 right now as Nyx Assassin is used up. Gets away from the stun with the Minotaur Horn. But I believe Widge and Sacred should be able to finish him off. He's just trying to buy time. Delay the inevitable because your throne, it's being assaulted. The Void, the Bristleback, they are pummeling your buildings. Vitali tries to get a bit of damage out there, and they've got the Eclipse flowing, but the BKB's out from Pakaz and Robo-Z will secure game 1 for Team Unknown.
Well, me shook because I am. Because that was a very interesting game. I mean, by Hokori, I felt like they had some control, even though they did lose the early game quite a bit. All lanes, I think, died. Unknown, they definitely outperformed for the most part with their draft. And Hokori, you know, they even at the late game, they just had to group up together. Every time they did not smoke and they were grouped up as 5, they always fed to Unknown because they're too split on the map. They didn't play into 2 lanes. They didn't control Roshan properly. They just got ahead of themselves and kept feeding away kills, and it just made it so awkward, especially for Lumiere, who's playing Luna. Like, she needs to be the one leading and everybody playing behind her, but it was the other way around whenever they were not smoked.
Yeah, it was a real interesting back and forth. I mean, the itemization, I think, from Widge was pretty spot on there. The Solar, Hex, Eon Disc, making sure that you had that snappy catch and you weren't 100% reliant on just the chrono. But honestly, after a sick laning stage into a bit of a lull in the mid game, it felt like Hokori were going to be able to pick that one up. But a great little turnaround there, as, exploiting the mistakes of your opponents. Of course, something very important here in the DPC and in these TI qualifiers. But Team Unknown taking game 1. I believe we jump to a quick break and we'll return with Alvo and go over this game once more.